Hello, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Gul Knowledge Hub. Watch what this image reflects. This image is in fact the image of our society. Everyone in our society is displeased, is unhappy because of fear of judgment. Fear of judgment, very important thing. And you have to give me only 5 minutes and I will delete all your fears of judgment within just 5 minutes. What you have to do, you are just like this person. Everyone in our society is suffering from this dilemma. You have to comment me in comment section what is your fear, what kind of judgment you are afraid of. Because from my early childhood, I will give you solutions in fourth form. 4 ways to overcome this fear of judgment. Before that, I will share my own fear of what kind of judgment I was afraid of. From the very beginning, from my childhood, I was a brilliant student. I was a shining student, but it was my fear that what will people think if they know that I belong to a village. This was my fear, and this was in fact my insecurity, because all your fears relating to judgment are in fact your insecurities. So very first thing you have to do, you have to list down all your fears on the paper, all your fears, all your insecurities, in fact insecurities. What kind of insecurities you are afraid of being judged? Write them down right away if you want to seek fluency, if you want to seek success in any area of life. Because after all, we are living on the planet surrounded by the people. Sometime or the other, every time we are being judged. Sometimes by our dressing, sometimes by our looks, but sometimes by our intelligence, sometimes by our means of work. Each and every time we are the target, we are in the spotlight of being judged. So the very first thing is to eradicate this fear of judgment is to list down all your insecurities you are suffering from. Number two thing, the most important thing is now you have to highlight the main insecurities. Now you have to highlight the main insecurities. This is the part of your homework you have to do in order to avoid all these kind of insecurities, all these kind of judgment which we are being suffered on a large scale. The third thing you have to do, what you are supposed to do, is a very important thing. Now you have to clean your mind. You have to purify your mind. Now this is your mind. It's the time to clean your mind, to purify your mind. Now how can you purify your mind? You have to let the positive thoughts come into you. You have to take the first step. If you are a victim of judgment, in fact every other person is also the victim of this judgment. So the very first step you have to take is to sympathize. If someone is not a good-looking person, you have to understand. You have to suppose that if you were in his position, what would be your reaction if someone judges you? You have to sympathize, and number one and the most important thing is to take first initiative as a member of society, because all the positive vibes, all the positive thoughts will be spreaded by you in the society. So you have to take the first step. Every time you come across and you want to have a judgment on other, on the looks, on the dressing, on everything else, control yourself. Sympathize with those persons, and just assume that if you were in those persons' places, then what would be your position, what would be your emotional and mental state if you were the victim of this judgment. Now this is very important thing. If you can understand, if you can just sow the seed of this positive behavior someday and the other, if you are giving this sympathized behavior, if you are controlling your behavior to at least 10 people, this would be spread to 100 people, and then the whole circle, the whole chain will enclose this society, and one day or the other there will be people who will appreciate you. And if the people appreciate you, you have to say, don't appreciate me, just spread this positive vibe in the society, because we want to eradicate this judgment, this judgmental attitude from our society. If you really like this video, kindly share and your own views, your own thoughts, your own fears, and what you can do if you are in the position to have judgment on others. So with this positive note, I certainly end this video. Till the next video, stay happy, stay blessed. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.